Hey guys, so today I wanted to show off my tiny keychain handheld, the Funkey S. I can sort of read it. Well, it's backwards. Oh well. I can open it up, and by opening it, it powers on automatically. I've got the nice firmware on it. Now this is actually Gmenu X2. This is like a native launcher, which can allow you to access extra emulators they put on, like MAM 2000, VBMU, or Pokemini for games that aren't native to run on this. But they've been made to. And then there's like M Player, which lets you watch like YouTube videos, movies, TV shows, as long as you can download them and convert them to the right like size. And the most difficult part is just getting the right aspect ratio. I suggest using like an aspect calendar, so that way you can figure out if it's like 16 by 9, 3 by 2, 4.4 by 1, or like 2.35 by 1, like Spider-Verse, which I got to run on here. Pretty good, honestly. It runs well. And even though it's so tiny, it has like one speaker. It's a pretty good speaker. Honestly, it just depends on like the download. If it's a bad download, it's not gonna sound good. But if you get like a good quality download, like I got Last of Us running on here, and like not the game, the show with like Pedro Pascal, and it looks good. Sorry, I'm just showing you off the back. I really should be showing you the front. I'm not doing anything on it. But then you can open the menu, and then there's like volume, brightness. So this is the other launcher, which is Retro FE. So we just launch that. Asks, are you sure? You click yes. And then it opens up to this, which has different themes you can pick. So this is Nebula, which has a nice like PS2 starter theme sound. Here's Switch. This one just looks like a Nintendo Switch. So, yeah. And then there is, let's see, we've got, here we go. This is one I use a lot. It's called Retro Room Covers. This is the one that comes with the custom OS that you install. Well, that you can install after you get it. It's got Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Gear, Master System, Genesis with the 32X and CD, so you can play all those games. You just gotta have the right BIOS. We got TurboGrafx, we got Atari Lynx, we got Neo Geo Pocket, we got WonderSwan, and we got PlayStation 1. Some of the games do not run that well, just because one, it's a very tiny console, and two, some of those games require, like, don't even run well on other, like, larger handheld emulators. But, like, Crash, Spyro, like, it says Tekken 3 right here. Tekken 3 can run okay, but then, like, on the later levels where it's, like, faster inputs and stuff like that, it can start to lag out a little bit. This is Libertera, which is basically how it runs the other cores if you want to do, like, PicoArc. Basically, this is how you access it through this menu. And then the native games you can also access through this menu, which is good. Yeah, and then to power it off, you just close it up. And if you're wondering what this has been the entire time, the last one I had, I dropped at work, and basically the motherboard, the battery connector right here, snapped off. And I couldn't solder it, like the pads fully came off, couldn't do anything. So I panic bought a second one. That's why I have like pink and blue on one of them. It usually just comes one solid color. And then I just contacted the company, and I was like, hey, can I buy a replacement motherboard? Like, yeah, sure, no problem. But it was like the most expensive part, and I'm like, how much is it? And they're like, oh, it's like $30. And I'm like, that is nothing. That is like, when the console, like, that's half the price of the console. It's like, again, like, this is only like $65. And then, so in total, it cost me $80 to get it, because it was $65 for the console, then like $10 for shipping. But then it was pounds or euros, so then converted to American, it was like $79.95, and I was like, that is not bad for everything that this little thing can do. So the chain is a safety measure, so that if I drop it at work or anything, that's just so you can see it. But like, I've measured it so like it won't go to the floor, so I can like drop it and it won't like hit the ground. And then right here, this is actually a little AirPod case. So I got one that is fully connected. So what you do is you just slide your Funkey in, which fits very nicely. You put it in sideways because it's a little thinner that way, and then you can just close it up. And then I have the keychain attachment going out, attached to the pocket watch chain that I just have looped around here. And then yeah, it's just a nice little setup. And then I can just take my game out, play my game. Then like, oh, I go to put it back. Whoops, I dropped it. Oh, but look, it's perfectly fine. Then I can just pop it into my thing. Now the main reason is just, yeah, I got butterfingers and I don't want it to break again. I don't want to spend more money on it. But yeah, other than that, most of it does. It is a very open source community. All the files, if you have like a 3D printer, all the files for the pieces are online. They even have like a sheet of the motherboard. So if you know how to like set up motherboards, I guess you could do that yourself. But I mean, I don't know if that'd be more expensive than just buying one. But yeah. Then there's a Discord where they talk about like OPK development, which is just like new apps and stuff like that, and like just software and stuff like that. And it's a good community. It's been updating constantly, and like there's still people in Discord talking every day. But it's a very good open source community. But yeah, you can get the 3D files online for free. You can get the Discord through the website, and there's a wiki that explains all the stuff and lets you download most of the stuff as well. So yeah, if you have any other questions, just leave them down in the comments. Other than that, just hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye guys.